Hello there virtual racers, and welcome to today's video where I jump back into RaceRoom Racing Experience and I tell you all about the eureka moment I've had with the all new force feedback system that was part of the last major build. So come and join me out on track as I explain to you why I've fallen back in love with this brilliant sim racing title. Okay then, touring car fans, here we are at the back of the grid at the Hungaroring for a quick 10-minute race, which is plenty of time for me to ramble on about the force feedback in RaceRoom. We are in the cockpit of a Astra TCR, which was introduced a few months ago to the TC Cup series. So we've got three cars in here now, the Astra, the Cupra and the Lada. But that's not the focus, although the Astra TCR is well worth a purchase. If you like touring cars, you will love it. It's my favourite touring car at the moment in RaceRoom. I want to talk about force feedback. Now, there was a new build a couple of months ago where they announced that they had decided to stop tweaking the old force feedback, and they decided to rip it out the game, throw that code away and start again completely from scratch using a completely physics-based algorithm to work out all the forces that should be sent to our wheels. Now, I run an Accu 4-stroke drive wheel, I run Sim Commander 4 software, and I had, over many months of experimentation, got what I thought was a really good force feedback setup for RaceRoom. I was really happy with it, it seemed to work well for me, and that's what I thought I wanted. Wow, the developers of RaceRoom, Sector 3 Studios, had other ideas. So, when the new force feedback model came out with the new June build, I duly loaded it up, had a go, and I tried it in one of my favourite cars on RaceRoom, which is the Porsche Cup car. No traction control, no ABS, it's quite softly sprung, so it will move about quite a bit. And initially, I was really taken by it. I thought, this is it. This is it. I see what they were going for. I'm happy. Then I tried some other cars, some other rear-wheel drive, front-wheel drive, old cars. Old cars as in content, and old cars as in, old-school type cars. And I lost my way. I just couldn't find that sweet spot, that little bit of magic that, gives you what you want. Now, I know force feedback is quite subjective. It depends on your driving style, your hardware, your personal preferences. So not every sim racing title can provide you with the feeling that you want. Luckily there's so many titles out there, you'll find one that does it for you. But, RaceRoom had done it for me. And I thought, no, it's gone the wrong way, And I sort of stepped away a little bit from RaceRoom, which is a shame because content on here is fantastic. Some of this, the touring cars are just, up until I lost my way, are awesome. So I thought, right, this is something I've got wrong here. I've done something here. So I went into the installation folder and I manually deleted anything to do with controllers, force feedback, settings, anything I could find, and I deleted them. And I started afresh. So it was as if the sim was seeing my hardware and my hardware was seeing the sim for the first time. Took the time to try out the much simplified force feedback menu. There's only about 6 sliders on there now. What that alone was worth the update, just to get a more understanding a more logical way of setting up the force feedback. I also deleted my profile in Sim Commander and created a new fresh profile, everything. And you know what? With a little bit of tweaking, I thought, this is it. I could start to feel that little bit of magic, that little spark coming back, and I thought, I've got it. And now I've got to a point now where I am back there as happy as a sim racer can be with the force feedback, especially in these front wheel drive touring cars. I've got that feeling back. I now feel connected with the car feels connected to the track, and it just works. And I get it. I see where Sector 3 were going. I see where Sector 3 wanted to do, and wanted to take the sim again to another level. Remember, this title came out in 2013. It's a DirectX 9, but look how good it looks. Look how good it runs. And take it from me, it feels good now. It feels right. So let's run through some of the little things that I've now noticed, that I'm now able to pick up on. One is understeer. You know, these are front wheel drive touring cars, so you know that if you push too hard on corner exit, you will get understeer. You know, power understeer. It's what I like about front wheel drive cars. And now, before it was almost like a switch. So the wheel was weighted up, grip, and then all of a sudden it would go light, and you knew that you were understeering and you had to do something about it. Now it's more progressive. Oh, hello. Yeah. As the grip goes, as the understeer increases, you feel the wheel drop away. The weight and the pressure just drops away, and you're able to make so much more smaller corrections. You can be a lot more finessed. You don't really think of, finesse and driving style in a touring car. It's usually on one or the other pedal, and away you go. But there is an art to driving these cars, and you can exploit that art now with the way that this force feedback works. It cuts in earlier, it's more progressive, so you can catch things earlier, and you don't have to be quite so extreme on the inputs to put that right. Another key example, curbs. Now before, you go over a curb, and it was no matter which one you went over and why you want it and when you went over them, but now different curbs produce different effects. You go over a sausage curb, you get that initial jerk as you ride it one side, and then you can feel the inside wheel getting caught on the inside of the sausage curb, and it's trying to pull you. You go over a sawtooth curb, and it is that violent, just what you'd expect. So what you're seeing visually is being matched by what the force feedback is giving you. And for immersion, it just draws you into the sim. It just adds that extra layer of detail that makes this sim racing so more immersive. It's little things, but you combine all these little things together and it makes for such a big change. And I'd lost my way a little bit, and I couldn't recognise some of these more subtle, more nuanced force feedback output, and I think I was just clinging on to what I had before. And another thing is, if you do come across a dip, a rut, or something in the track that causes the tyres or suspension to deflect. Before, it was just a simple bash over it, you'd feel a bang through the wheel, and that was it. But now you also get to, a little bit of a pull to the left or the right, depending on which one of the wheels is, you know, having the majority of the effects put upon it. So it's not just there's a bump in the road there and you feel the jolt. There's a bump in the road there, you feel the jolt, but it's slightly more, it's a slightly deeper pothole on the left wheel, say. So the car will just give you a little flick to the left, so you know that, oh, alright, steady on, you know, gives you a chance, a little bit of correction, and you keep that car going steady. But that's what makes the car feel more connected, more planted to the track, so you don't feel like, you know, you're sat on top of the track as you can in some sims. You know, you feel like you're there, you know, you really do have some form of connection to that track. It's just absolutely fantastic. You drive cars with ABS, traction control, you get that nice little subtle effect through the wheel as the as either one or the two cuts in. Traction control especially, I find that doesn't just snap on and off. There is a little bit of build up to it, you know, depending on the steering angle, the throttle position, and the amount of traction control that needs to be applied. It does vary, and that is translated through the wheel. Again, little things, but it's those little things that make driving in RaceRoom so rewarding. And that's what it is now. It's rewarding. It's just, I'm back in love with RaceRoom. And I was worried that, you know, the love affair was over. But we got these brilliant new TCR cards to go in the TC Cup. We got the fantastic new force feedback system. And the two are working perfectly. I can finally get back to enjoying my sim racing with RaceRoom. So I urge you, if you tried it and you loved it, brilliant. I'm really pleased for you. But if you tried it and thought, I'm not quite getting what everybody else is getting, start from scratch. Don't try and modify or fiddle with what you already had. Scrap it. Start again. Be bold, be brave, and give it time. Give it time. I think the biggest thing I can say is map a button to the force feedback multiplier, because you can set that per car, in car. Because sometimes you need to amplify the effects of some cars and reduce the effect for others. And once that's set, that's done. That's probably my biggest tip. But, you know, and try not to hang on to what you had before. Just, you know, don't come in it with too many preconceived ideas, because you're going to overlook some of the subtle nuances of the new force feedback system. Because it's easy to overlook it if you come in gung-ho. Oh yes, I remember it, did this, did that. What? No, it doesn't. And you need to take time to learn what the new force feedback system is giving you, is telling you. So please, don't do what I initially did. Get disheartened and begin to just take a step back. Put a bit of work in. Keep with it, you know, and keep going through step by step, and find your new sweet spot. All right. Because trust me, when you do, you'll love RaceRoom even more, and it's put it up there with the top, you know, level of sims and it's once again become one of my sim titles of choice. Right, well, I think I've rambled on for far too long now. I think I've put my case across. I urge you, give it another go. Let me know in the comments. Have you tried out the force feedback? What was your initial impressions? What do you think of it now you've had time to play with it, get used to it and learn it? I'd love to know. So please feel free, get in those comments. Let me know, okay? Right. Well, all that's left for me to say is thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I know I enjoyed making this one because I am so happy to be back in love with RaceRoom. Don't forget to check out all my other videos. And maybe give us a little cheeky like, you know. Only takes a second, but it means a lot. Alright? In the meantime, I'll see you in the next one. Always race hard. Always race fair. Okay then. Alright then. Bye bye.